Hello everyone and now welcome to a game between, Yan51 and, your eyes are not deceiving you, it is Sky. I almost wanted to say World Elite Sky, but just Sky coming and playing human after so long. This game taking place here on Tidehunters, pulled from the NetEase servers as, things are underway. On the top left-hand side of Tidehunters, we see Yan51 spawning as the red orc, going up against Sky, playing the blue human. How will Sky do after, it feels like a decade of time since I've cast a game of his, or have I ever cast a game with Sky? I don't know. It's actually been that long. I don't remember if I've actually cast a game of Sky. Sky, one of 2 to 3 Chinese, human Chinese players coming out and just absolutely dominating the scene for quite some time before, taking a break. We'll see what is in store coming in from Sky. Sky's opening up with an Archmage, going to be training up some footmen, nothing too out of the ordinary here. Meanwhile, on the top left-hand side of the map, we are seeing a Farseer going up against Headhunters. This is probably a new strategy or a new meta that Sky is not particularly familiar with, as, Headhunters were pretty much unheard of and unused back in the day. Apologies for everyone who follow me normally, daily throughout the live stream and the Twitch casting yesterday. I had a bit of additional work I needed to do in the morning. Left the house at like 6 o'clock and then, headed straight into work. Also, send thoughts and prayers my way. Seriously, send thoughts and prayers my way. We are going to have our youngest one tested for COVID today. 1.5 or almost 2 years old, but fever and hopefully it's just a bad cold. Kids do get sick. Now, coming back through the Sea Giant here, whether or not he ends up doing that little whirl attack is going to be absolutely critical. One of the reasons why human players often do not like this map is that this Sea Giant creep camp, it has a little bit too much RNG here. The Sea Giant only whirled once so far. There's another one. It can sometimes whirl 2 to 3 times and then get a large amount of damage on the militia follow-up. And if you're not familiar with the map, it can end up being rather painful. Thank you, Wild Striker, as we're looking at a, beautiful denial right there. So yes, Sky coming in with the micro play, getting in a bit of damage and wasting a bit of Yan51's time. Archmage, still sitting at level 1, does have a Circlet of Nobility, better stats than the Farseer, who does not have any additional items, as we're looking at the Spirit just easily getting taken down right there. Archmage quickly going to get to level 2, and once it gets to level 2, it will have that experience advantage, and also have it will have the experience advantage over that Farseer. The question is, when are we going to start seeing Headhunters? Headhunters are now still just starting to be trained. It looked like it was a War Mill first into a tech to tier 2. Coming in from Yan51, was spending so much time focusing. Oh, this could be a potential bad creep jack here if the creeps are awoken. And here we are. They are awoken in the back. No purge onto the water elemental as the Farseer now tries to dance away from all of these units. Really, really great spider sense by Yan51, figuring out where his opponent was and, denying that last 25 or 36 points of experience to grant level 2. Every second that the Archmage is not at level 2 is, 0.75 mana more that the Archmage could have had to try and win out on these fights. Headhunters now joining out in on the battlefield here. We do see Defend is nearly done researching, and the Town Hall is halfway done during that upgrade too. We are looking back here. A Stronghold is completed. Are we picking up a Tavern Hero, perhaps? A Panda for Breath of Fire early on. Give me 1 second. Alright, open the windows to cool down the house, only to realize, a skunk just sprayed someone outside. Yeah, no pause there, no nothing, just Thought I'd do it as quick as possible. Well, I taste it. Archmage looking to finish off this Rock Golem creep camp here. We'll get to level 2, pick up a Devotion Aura as the Forest Trolls will all get taken down. Now that the Footmen have Defend, it is going to be more difficult for, well, Yan to try and put any pressure with these Headhunters. I'm only going to be able to go after perhaps a couple of those, a couple of these Peasants, as well. A quick Forest Troll also gets taken down here. Are we going to be building a Scout Farm here? Yes, we are. A proximity to that Goblin Laboratory to finish things up. I might have to close the back door. Alright, I'm going to pause it this time. Alright, I'm back. Farseer coming to clean things up. Claws of Attack +5 picked up over here. Meanwhile, Archmage is doing a good job clearing out some enemy creep camps, trying to get to level 3. We'll get relatively close as a Shadow Hunter gonna be the follow-up hero for that Farseer. Almost level 2 Farseer going up against a level 3, should be a level 3 Archmage here in just a moment, trying to get that last hit. Does get to level 3, now turns back around, but we are going to be looking at one dead Footman there. Footman down to 20 hit points, down to dead, gives level 2 to the Farseer, as the Footmen now try to reach across here and try and put down pressure. Archmage drops a Water Elemental, now putting pressure inside. One of those situations where he probably wished he had a little bit more mana again. Played some pretty good games back in the day. I enjoyed these days. Regularly tune in. Okay, thank you very much. Didn't actually see your name since you, well, typed in a lot, but thank you for all the kind words there. Archmage continuing to put pressure. Bestiary could get taken down as the, well, I believe that was a denial on that Footman there. Meanwhile, however, the Spirit Lodge did end up getting completed, and we could be looking at Shaman to try and purge down these water elementals that, well, Sky has been using rather effectively. Mass Headhunters now making their way back over. Archmage trying to retreat back over as well. Sky actually in a bit of trouble now, that 25 supply compared to 32. We are looking at, well, dual Arcane Sanctums getting trained up. No training from the Altar of Kings as of yet. Archmage trying to put in that old school pressure of a tier 2 push, but with the fast tech to tier 2 from Yan51, in addition to the higher mobility with these Headhunters, hit and run tactics are, well, difficult to execute properly. Archmage continuing to battle it up here, drops another Water Elemental, well, and the Headhunter with that medium armor, even though it only has 375 hit points, was able to avoid some of that damage still. Coming back through, another Headhunter now looking to retreat back. Archmage with that range fireball getting in some more damage onto those Headhunters, down to 116 healing salves to go around. Headhunters may dive deep inside the base. Back down to the south, Farseer of Yan looking to clear things up, clean up these Murloc Flesh Eaters, and steal some experience of his own, as we see a quick Hex being laid down onto the Archmage. Archmage still wandering around here once more. We're looking, Cloak of Shadows has been left behind, could be picked up by the Shadow Hunter. That does represent, I believe, 50 to 75 gold, as the Archmage now comes back across here to try and get in some damage. Clarity Potion quickly dissolved or disrupted there, as the Water Elemental now summoned, now simply just walking on by. A little bit of a problem, as the Mountain King now shows up out into the battlefield and snipes down one Headhunter. All right, Archmage down to 200 hit points, down to 140 hit points, should be using that Scroll of Town Portal, and does do so in time to get away. All right, Spellbreakers already being trained. Clarity Potion now being used, perhaps waiting for a Priest. There is a Priest and a Sorceress out here on the battlefield as well, as the Archmage looks for some creep camps to try and give experience to that Mountain King. Meanwhile, Shadow Hunter Farseer clearing up this Rock Golem creep camp fairly fast. Headhunters need to get back up onto the high ground and lip so that they are not missing their attacks while they are shooting onto the high ground here. Shadow Hunter getting up to level 2. Farseer not very far behind, but, well, all of this piercing damage on a Forest Troll against a Forest Troll High Priest with additional armor and medium armor, difficult to finish off. Off to the north here, Spellbreakers going after, well, a relatively difficult Golem creep camp here. One of the camps, I believe the only red creep camp, or one of the two red creep camps on the map, but this is the more difficult of the two. We are looking at the giant hunters here. There's that little swirl, as I mentioned once more. Getting the surrounds on these units are rather painful, as we see another stomp come in here. I don't know if Sky is calculating this or not, but he could end up losing a lot of peasants, as we see once again the Sea Giant Hunter doing exactly that, doing that spin. Granite Golem could come across with another pound right there, finishing off some more units as the Mountain King does try to get to level 3, and while taking quite a beating as well. Archmage purposely trying to give the experience to the Mountain King, but the Mountain King taking a lot more damage than he would have perhaps expected. Mountain King actually attacking the Water Elemental to lose a little bit of aggro, and now goes after the unit there, picking up the War Song Battle Drums. Big damage bonus for all the units. Farseer, Shadowhunter, suspects something is up, and well, comes across and spots that his opponent has cleared out the difficult red creep camp. Level 3 Mountain King, Stormbolt straight up onto a Headhunter. Headhunter easily going to get taken down there. It goes taken down. Meanwhile, Water Elemental turning around, trying to fight back once more. Mountain King cooldown on that Stormbolt. 1 second. Should throw another Stormbolt right there, going after a leading Headhunter, and getting up a follow-up bash here. Quick Hex onto the Mountain King. 1 Headhunter now down. Water Elemental getting taken down as well, as the Mountain King going to try and get in one more final bash onto that Headhunter. Headhunter does get taken out and has another Stormbolt instead for a Shaman. Follow-up bash for the Shaman. Mountain King could be in trouble. Beautiful micro coming in from Mountain King as he's trying to retreat back. Sorceress is coming across with a slow and a beautiful hit. A follow-up chase to snipe down targets and manually casting slow from all of these units. And the Mountain King, the lead Mountain King, is purposely constantly switching targets whenever it can to try and gain that little bit of extra damage, perhaps getting in a lucky bash. I thought the follow-up train of death was done, but no, Sky able to get 2 more units, another Headhunter and Shaman, even though the Mountain King was then out of mana. Stormbolt onto a Shaman, once more going to get easily taken down, but the Mountain King does not want to venture forth in that far. Tauren now joining in onto the battlefield. Yan51 going to switch the script here, going in for Tauren to counteract the Spellbreakers, as the Tauren already has a version of Pulverize this early in the battle. Mountain King could be in trouble. Scroll of Town Portal, Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. Doesn't matter if you are turned into a pig, as the Mountain King now backs away. All right, Tauren now trying to reach that backline position. Priest are getting in a good amount of heals. Healing Wave coming back around. Orc Burrows were completely full, but useless as the Mountain King tries to dive into that back location. Is he going to be able to use a Stormbolt? Doesn't even need the Stormbolt. Finishes off the damage there. Shadowhunter, Farseer continuing to battle it up. Farseer now looking to battle away. Shadowhunter using up a Potion of Mana, Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. Stormbolt now onto the Farseer. Farseer could be in trouble, down to 117 hit points. Are we going to see a little bit more damage? And wow, beautifully used Scroll of Town Portal, but the Farseer is still going to be low on hit points. Are we going to see a follow-up, a bit of fire? Yes, we are, but a Healing Wave followed by a Potion of Healing. Well, now going to flip things home field advantage for a little bit more damage, as we're still seeing Headhunters being trained even though we are at Fortress. No upgrade to Berserkers yet. Archmage of Sky really overstaying his welcome. His army back here, or back in engaging, is rather small. Only 4 Spellbreakers going up against the Dire Wolves with their critical strike, and a Tauren with Pulverize. Sorceresses showing up to the battlefield from the other side of the battle, actually auto-rallied to the Archmage and the Mountain King, but now do need to retreat back, as they may end up, well, sacrificing themselves similarly to how Yan lost a plethora of units off in the north side when he was trying to escape. All right. Sorceress does get hexed. I don't see any Spirit Walkers getting trained as of yet. Tauren, and Tauren only being trained by Yan51. Coming back home, Archmage, Scroll of Regeneration ready to be used. Yep, there it is. Scroll of Regeneration ready to be used. Priest are still on auto heal at this stage in the game. Perhaps turning off auto heal might actually be better. Try to top off more mana on those Priests for that next upcoming fight. 48 supply for Sky. Yan51 still sitting at 43 supply. Archmage and Mountain King have been level 3 for quite some time. Finally, level 4 on the Archmage for level 2 Brilliance Aura, as, well, we'll see whether or not the Archmage sticks around. Archmage could back away, but that still probably would not give enough experience to that Mountain King for, well, actually that could have given enough experience to the Mountain King for level 4 and level 2 Bash. Gloves of Haste added in as well. We're looking at more clearing of creep camps. Level 3 on the Shadowhunter, level 3 on the Farseer. Farseer does have a Ring of Regeneration. Taurens are out here on the battlefield as well. Are they going to get in some pulverized damage? Doesn't even really need it. You can see how hard those hard-hitting Tauren are with bloodlusted Tauren with Devotion Aura for a bit of bonus damage. Now, Bloodlusted Tauren going up against Spellbreakers with Spell Steal. It sounds like the Spellbreakers would just spell steal that Bloodlust, and that is 100% absolutely true, but it can only give the Bloodlust to the Archmage, Mountain King, Water Elementals, and the casters. So there isn't really that much damage if you give the casters that Bloodlust. It's not going to really tip things in favor, as the Spellbreakers are the ones really trying to focus down and deal the majority of the damage. Water Elementals will simply just get purged down, and the Spellbreakers may end up spending too much time trying to steal Bloodlust than to actually try and fight back against those casters. It's similar to when you pop a Scroll of Protection against an army of Dryads. The Dryads, and you bring Militia to the fight, the Dryads are standing there casting Abolish Magic for so long that 2 or 3 waves of mortar team damage from a human player could actually destroy all the Dryads before they actually do anything useful. Mountain King in that frontline spot right there. Tauren continuing to wander around. Spellbreakers taking quite a bit of damage units. Well, Staff of Sanctuary saving a Spellbreaker there. Mountain King in that frontline spot does not have Thunderclap, as we see a Stormbolt go down here. Healing Ward now was now placed down. Tauren low on hit points. Orb of Fire. Wow, Orb of Fire being used to counteract the healing, the chain heal coming across from the Shadow Hunter, the healing wave there, as the Farseer is still bouncing around. The Serpent, or the Healing Ward, is still now down. Trying to figure out, yeah, the healing ward is in fact Sky's, and it is not being focused down at all. Farseer falls at level 3, and that healing ward did do a lot of good. Sky, in his return to my channel, well, I won't say return to my channel, as I was able to come across a Sky replay, takes this game here. Yeah, absolutely beautiful game. Sky a little bit rusty at times, using some older strategies, but his micro was still on point. That battle where he was chasing Yan51 across the north, absolutely spot on. Storm bolting a lead unit, getting a slow on following units, and then getting up a subsequent bash to just slowly pick off units. It seemed like 10 to 16 supply of units fell in that fight, and that was the turning point. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.